Hello friends, welcome to my channel Simple Gardening. Hope everything is fine. Today in this video, we'll be having a detailed look about how rice is grown. Rice is the staple food for more than half of the world's population, and around 90% of the world's rice is grown and consumed, particularly in Asian countries. And India is the second largest producer of rice with a production of 116 million tons as per 2019. And with rice, there are many varieties, recipes prepared starting from biryani, fried rice, curd rice, plain rice, etc. There is a popular question: is paddy and rice the same? Let's discuss about it. Paddy is the name of the crop, and rice are the grains obtained from paddy. So, paddy becomes rice after the removal of husk. In the coming slides, we'll be looking at how a farmer grows rice step by step. First, he selects a piece of land for growing his nursery, so-called paddy seedlings. The land is plowed, harrowed, and later puddled with the help of a puddler, so that the soil will become soft and will be eligible and will be ready to sow the seed and to grow the saplings. Puddling is nothing but churning the soil with water 5 to 10 centimeters of depth. So it reduces leaching of water as well as decreases water and nutrient losses. And once the water is settled, he soaks the seed for overnight, and it helps to soften the seed coat. You can see here the seeds, the endosperm of the seed will be activated by soaking in the water, as well as there is a recommendation given by agriculture department that the seeds should be treated with any type of fungicide so that it prevents any sort of fungal diseases during the nursery stage. Once the nursery bed is ready, as well as the seed is well soaked, the farmer will tie a bag over his shoulder and he will get into the field and he will start to broadcast the seed evenly all across the nursery bed. It depends upon how much nursery he requires, basing upon the future plan of growing the paddy crop. Usually, the sowing or else the broadcast of the seed is done while the water level is maintained. It helps in settling the seed. The good seed will be settled onto the top layer of the soil, and the bad seed will be floating on the top. And within 4 to 6 hours, he will drain away the water, and the good seed, which is being struck to the land, struck to the soil, will germinate, and within a period of 2 to 3 days, the seed will germinate. And here you can see the greener color is nothing but the germinated seed. So at this level, it's not required to maintain any water in the field. But as the nursery starts to grow, or else the fields, if it gets dried, then the farmer will allow the field with water. So as a matter of fact, rice is a semi-aquatic crop. So it grows best under submerged conditions. However, farmer usually drains and fills the water once every week to 10 days. So the nursery period is almost 30 days from germination of seed. And after 10 days of germination, farmer will apply some fertilizer, and after 20th day also he will apply some fertilizer, and by 30 or 35th day, the seedlings will be ready to transplant. And meanwhile, whenever the water level has been reduced, he will already regularly recharge the nursery bed with water. Here you can see the seedlings are almost ready for transplantation, and the best size and the best height for transplanting a seedling is 25 to 30 centimeters of seedling length is recommended for transplantation. Once the seedlings are ready to transplant, the farmer will ensure his seedlings are healthy and are free from pests and diseases. And if required, he'll go for any type of pesticide spray also. And For the day of transplantation, the seedling grower, so-called the farmer, will engage women for seedling pulling, and they will pull the seedlings and they will tie in bunches for the ease of transportation as well as for the ease of transplanting in the main field. You can see here almost 5,000 of seedlings on an average, 3 to 5,000 of seedlings are being tied into small bunches with the help of the bunches being tied with the help of paddy straw. And you can see here the root system is also very well developed and they are healthy. And these bundles will be transported to his main field, as well as some farmers will purchase these seedlings from the nursery grower in order to transplant their main fields. Here one farmer is taking the seedlings in order to plant in his main field. So these seedlings are very healthy and they doesn't have any type of diseases. And coming to the main field, the same process of land preparation is being continued for the main field also. The land should be plowed, harrowed, and later with the help of a puddler, it has to be churned very well, and the water level should be maintained for transplantation. At least 10 to 15 centimeter of water level should be maintained. During the transplantation period, farmer will engage women who are skilled workers and they will transplant 3 seedlings per hill. Here you can see a woman is taking 3 seedlings from the bunch and she is planting it. And these seedlings will be planted in a specific manner. It's not something like a zigzag plantation. Once the transplantation is completed, and if we have an overlook, the seedlings will be very well, the spacing is very well maintained. And as the crop grows, we can understand how the women has transplanted in an even manner. So, to plant 1 acre of field, almost 7 to 8 women, they'll complete it in 3 hours. And here you can see the field, the beds, the main field, they're completed. And if you see, there is a straight gap in between the seedlings. That is for future in intercultural operations. If farmer wants to apply any fertilizer, he has to walk through that. And as we see the morphology of rice plant, there are 3 stages. The first one is vegetative stage. The second one is reproductive stage, and the third one is ripening stage. And usually, short duration rice varieties mature in 105 to 120 days, and long duration rice varieties matures in 150 days. A 120-day variety, when planted in a tropical environment, spends about 60 days in vegetative phase and 30 days in reproductive phase and 30 days in ripening phase. See here, this is vegetative phase. Vegetative phase is characterized by the development of tillers and more leaves. As I said, per hill, the women will transplant 3 seedlings. These 3 seedlings will develop tillers. Tillers are nothing but, you can say, the offspring of those 3 seedlings. So, and a gradual increase in plant height is also observed. The early vegetative phase begins as soon as the seed germinates into a seedling and ends at tillering. As the seedling continues to grow, 2 more leaves develop, and leaves continues to develop at the rate of 1 every 3 to 4 days during the early stage. These all are called as tillers. The late vegetative phase starts when tillering begins and extends from the appearance of first tiller until the maximum number of tillers are reached. This usually happens within 40 days after sowing. And coming to the second phase, so-called reproductive phase, the first sign that the rice plant is getting ready to enter its reproductive phase is bulging of the leaf stem that conceals the developing panicle. Here you can see the panicles called the booting stage. And paddy crop is said to be at the heading stage when the panicle is fully visible. These are called as the panicles, and every tiller produces 1 panicle. And when the panicle is fully visible, flowering begins a day after heading has completed, and flowering can continue for about 7 days. And during this stage, the pollination occurs and the seed setting will start. Reproductive stage ends in 30 days, and the last stage is the ripening phase or the ripening stage. The ripening phase starts at flowering and ends when the grain is mature. Ripening can be subdivided into almost 4 stage or 5 stages, like the milky stage, the seed, basing upon the seed, dough stage, yellow stage, this is yellow stage, ripe stage, and finally mature stage. Basically, these stages are termed based on the texture and color of the growing grains. The length of ripening varies among varieties from about 15 to 40 days. Here you can see the grain has completely matured and hardened. It means it is ready for harvesting. The farmer ensures by checking his field, by seeing the ripen matured panicles, and he'll start harvesting. Coming to the harvesting, there are two types of harvesting. The first one is mechanical harvesting. You can see here, this is a harvester. What it does is, it will completely harvest the paddy seed plants along with the straw. In this way, the farmer will not get straw, whereas it's a easy method and it doesn't require any labor. And the machine will collect, it will thresh itself, and the grain is later pumped out of that harvester onto a tractor or else into gunny bags. Here you can see the very well matured paddy seedlings. We can say these are rice, but still the husk is intact, so we can call them as paddy seedlings itself. And the second method is manual harvesting. Usually, women are more involved in harvesting of paddy. They'll cut the seed, the saplings, so-called the paddy plants, with the help of a sickle, and they lay it in bundles on the field itself. And by this, what happens is, if any moisture is present in the seed or else in the plant, they will be completely dried out under the sun. So here you can see all the panicles, all the leaf tillers are being cut along with the grain intact. You can see here the grains are very much intact, and they'll allow it for a period of 3 to 5 days or a maximum of 1 week, depending upon the amount of sunlight. And once it is ensured that the grains are completely dried as well as the straw is completely dried, the farmer then engages men and women for threshing. And on a polythene cover or any sort of gunny jute mat, the straw is laid, and with the help of oxen or else with the help of tractor, these are being threshed so that the grain will be completely separated from the panicles, and the grain will be later winnowed and it will be packed in the bags. So once the threshing is completed, this is the process called as winnowing, because the paddy grains consist of any sort of dust, husk, as well as any foreign materials. And by doing this, only the healthy seed will be collected, and the dust particles or else the husk will be carried away by the wind. And this is a common practice which is being carried out in manual harvestings. See here, the seed is ready, and the farmer will pack this seed in gunny bags of 50 kilo or 75 kilo, and he will either store the grain or else he will send it to a rice mill where the rice husk is removed, the paddy grains are processed and later converted into rice after processing. So let us see how the paddy is being converted into rice through this process, which is being carried in a rice mill. So the paddy seeds are being collected and they are being sent into a pipe. Actually, I'm not so technical in the packing scenario. Just what I have seen and what the rice mill owner has explained to me, that I'm trying to tell you. in a very broader way. I'm not going so deeply. So the paddy rice is being sucked through the pipes and it is sieved on this, so that any sort of grass or hay or any stones are being separated, and later this seed, the paddy seed, is sent into the factory, into the mill. You can see here the foreign particles are being collected. So on an overall, this is a rice mill. So the paddy, which is being vacuumed, which is being sucked into the pipes here, through this pipe it will enter into the mill, and later there are different stages where the paddy is being threshed, sieved, as well as polished. Usually there are two types of rice. The first one is brown rice, which is unpolished rice, and regular white rice, which is being polished for 2 or 3 times. So during this process, if the consumer prefers brown rice, when the rice husk is removed, then that is called as brown rice. I'll show that also. But if the consumer prefers white rice, then the seed will be polished for 2 or 3 times in these machinery, and the final product will be carried out through this, and it will be collected in this big vessel sort of thing. And from here, again, this is nothing but, this machine is nothing but, it's like destoning. Means if rice contains any sort of particles like stones or small particles, they will be removed in this. Here, as I was saying regarding brown rice, so this is also called as unpolished rice. At this stage, see, you can see it is unpolished, so it is brown in color. So this is called as brown rice, and it is very good for diabetic patients when compared with consumption of polished rice. So this rice is collected, and if you prefer for a polished rice, then later the process of polishing is being done for 2 or 3 times. And here you can see white rice is being collected in a separate compartment, and this rice is ready for consumption, ready for cooking. And here there is some another process where broken rice occurs. Usually when you process 100 kilos of paddy, only almost 50% of rice comes, 30% of husk will be gone, and 20% of broken rice will be there. This broken rice is also consumed, but however, it is usually used in poultry and poultry and for animal feed. And later, the workers, they will fill the bags with 50 kilo or else 25 kilo, and they are sent for supermarkets or else for the sale. So here you can see this bag is weighing around 50 kilo, and he will remove the excess rice. If required, he will add some more rice, and he will later, once the weighment is opt, he will stitch the bag and will be set aside. And once the load is ready, then they will be sent for supermarkets. During all this process, paddy usually require lot of water. Paddy is a crop which consumes lot of water. And as I said, once the rice is packed in colorful bags, they are sent into supermarkets. See here stacks of rice bags and different quantities, 25 kilo, 50 kilo, depending upon the local procurement, consumer requirement. Here it is some around 5 kilo bags. These all are basmati rice. As I said, there are innumerable varieties of rice like Bapatla variety, Karnul, Sona Masuri, Basmati, MTU 1010, like this. So these are finally purchased and being consumed by the consumer or else the customer. So after a laborious work done by the farmer for a period of 6 to 7 months, our plates are filled with food. Thanks to farmers. And friends, that's it for today. And let me confess one thing. When I asked my 5-year-old son from where does rice comes, he answered me, rice grows on trees. And it's not a joke. There are many young children and even youngsters who doesn't know from where rice comes. So I hope this video will be helpful in creating a bit of awareness. And friends, if you like this video and If you are happy with my presentation, please give a like and thumbs up to my video. And if you are a new viewer, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Simple Gardening. Thank you.